now, a Nottinghamshire couple are currently training to compete the world's toughest row. They're planning to row 3,000 miles across the Atlantic Ocean. And before they came in the studio, I was practicing on this chair like this. But what I didn't realise is they could actually see it in the green room, so that's embarrassing. That's why I'm red. Jules and Ian Palin-Dean from Ratcliffe-on-Soar met at an ocean rowing event in 2021. A year before that, Jules had planned to row the Atlantic with a late husband who died from a short battle with cancer. In his last days, he made Jules promise to fulfil the dream, and then having found love again with Ian, the pair are now planning to do just that as they prepare to take on the challenge in 2025, where they hope to become the fastest mixed pair to ever complete the journey, and they are here now to tell us more. Hello. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
Right, first of all, let's talk about you two. How did you get together?
So I have a friend, Kaz, who rowed the Pacific Ocean, and when she got back, she was saying, "This is the most amazing thing. You really need to do it." And I'm like, "Great idea, but I can't think of anyone I could spend weeks within 20-something feet of." But thank you very much for the suggestion. And she'd had a little documentary made about her crossing, and Jules at the time was just planning her first team and putting things together to actually attempt the Atlantic, and went along to watch the little documentary, and that's when we first met. Our eyes met across a crowded car park. I thought she was on her own, so we had a little chat for 5 or 10 minutes, and we just chatted on Facebook for 2 years, but didn't meet up again until COVID hit, really.
Oh, wow.
But what he hasn't said is that he named me the next Mrs. Dean.
Wow, confidence.
Well,
I didn't know
Nice.
anything about it.
But obviously, you know,
Yeah.
but fair play, played up. So this is something that you'd had planned even
Yeah.
before meeting Ian then?
Yes, so we had a trio planned, a mixed trio, so we wanted to be the first mixed ever trio to go across the Atlantic. So yeah, that didn't happen because of COVID and bereavement, and it didn't sit well with mental health at the time. It sort of plummeted massively, so I didn't go on that road. But yeah, here we are. We're gonna do it. So
That's incredible. So how was the training going? Have you started training? What is the training?
so there's so much to training. So there's the physical training, which is obvious, the weights, the for injury prevention. There's the rows. You can go on the water, learn how to row. So Ian's learned how to row.
You don't even need the water. Just
just on the chest. Yeah, I hadn't even sat in a boat when I agreed to do this. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's the practical side, so you go out on an ocean rowing boat, which we have got now. We went to Holland for a week, didn't we, training? And then there's the courses you have to do, so RYA courses, sea survival, VHF courses.
First aid at sea.
Yeah, ocean rowing course. Yeah, so there's many elements to it. And then there's mental resilience, so we did 153 days of going in the river outside our house.
From Boxing Day.
Yeah.
Onwards.
Daily dips, just to do something really hard every day.
So when you say go in the river, like jump in or like in the boat?
Just climbing down the ladder.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we literally live
Meters.
20 feet from the River Soar.
Is that where you're setting off from?
No, La Gomera to Antigua, so 3,000 miles across the Atlantic.
What are you doing when you get there? Because it sounds like
Honeymooning.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So that will actually be our honeymoon. We got married in 2021 and said we'll go for a little mini moon at the start of the race that year, just so we could see it all, because I hadn't seen anything to do with it really.
Right.
But the actual honeymoon would be when we hit Antigua. It is going to be the longest and most expensive journey to any honeymoon.
Isn't it just?
Yeah.
Oh, but so worth it.
Yeah.
Wow. And like you say, you know, if you're going to spend your time in a small boat, it's with someone you love. So that's the way to do it, isn't it?
Yeah.
How are you feeling at this moment? Because obviously we're 2023, and so like just over a year or so to go. I mean,
Yeah,
when
we've
will
got
it
a
sink in?
boat, so that is the massive big problem, paying for a boat. So the whole project is £150,000 to get to the start line. So that has been a huge problem with COVID, Ukraine, energy prices and things like that. So getting sponsorship for us has been harder than it should be.
The cost of rowing crisis, of course.
Yeah. Yeah. So we start our sort of journey into the corporate sponsorship next month, So that's exciting. But we've mostly self-funded with a little bit of help from mostly private donors and the odd corporate. So yeah, it's been a hard slog so far, but we're so proud to have the boat. She's an old boat. She's 2013, so she's 10 years old, and she's done 5 crossings already.
Okay.
So, but we're busy sanding her down and repainting her at the moment.
We're not sure that any of the paint over the years has ever been taken off. So each team we've just added on top and added on
yes,
top.
it's like a thick boat.
So we've just taken half the weight off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you're doing it for a great cause as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the cause we want to raise money for when we actually cross is Loros Hospice in Leicestershire, because they supported us as a family when my mum had to go in there for her end of life care, and they were just amazing. They are the most amazing people. They are so supportive. They look after the families just as much as they look after the actual patients.
Incredible
it is,
cause.
yeah, it's just fantastic.
Wow.
So.
I think can we speak to you before? We've got ages yet. Have you got ages yet?
Yeah.
So we'll speak to you before you go.
Definitely, yeah.
Definitely,
Oh,
yeah,
brilliant.
yeah.
That'd be great. We'll come down and film you.
Oh,
Okay.
amazing.
I've made that decision. It won't be me. It'll be someone else.